when healing becomes an addiction. So there was a time in my life, and we were in lockdown, so this also gave me the time, where I was doing 2 hours shadow work every day. So if any type of uncomfortable emotion came up for me, I was doing shadow work. Or if I couldn't get something to work in my reality, let's say I was manifesting something, wasn't happening, I'd get frustrated, I'd go to shadow work. And at this time in my life, I was doing 2 hours of shadow work every day. And you might think that's crazy. And I can see both sides of this now in hindsight, in my experience, in my lessons, in my journey. And I actually had the biggest quantum leap that I've ever had in my whole life around that time. So was that the shadow work that did that? Was that the power, the courage, the wholeness that put me into by doing that work that created that quantum leap? Was it divine timing? Was it something else? Was it my free will choice and determination and my grit to make that happen? Who knows? But what I will say is that it was magic. It was magic. So I left my marriage. I managed to manifest 2 incredible, and I say incredible, initially 2 incredible cottages to stay in, that just came out of nowhere with absolute trust. Absolute trust. These people who I didn't know just completely trusted me with their properties and said, yeah, no worries, you can stay there, you can rent this. The third property had a sea view, because then I manifested my moving to the seaside, and I then met my soulmate. I didn't know that we were going to be in a relationship at the time. I thought we were just going to be friends. But I met her at the same time. So, if you look at this data, you could say there was a direct correlation between me doing intensive inner work and my life shifting and changing. And at the same time, I can also hold the view that that was probably obsessive, that was probably addictive. And did I need to do that much? And was there a part of me that was actually, which I feel was also being perpetuated by some spiritual mentors I had at the time, who would just be like, you need to work on that, you need to work on that, you need to work on that, you need to work on that. So that was kind of perpetuating that as well. And I think there was maybe an element of me trying to be the good girl, look at me doing all my work when no one else is doing all this much shadow work. There's probably an element of that. But I could see at times that I was viewing myself as broken. I'm broken, I need fixing, I've got trauma, I'm broken. And actually, what I know now about the quantum field is it's actually vibrating at a level of wholeness, which is sometimes through the boundaries and the action that we take and the embodiment that we take, so that the feminine side of the healing, this is what we're working through in Cosmic Coach, literally hot off the press in my Cosmic Coach group right now, this is what we're working through, the masculine action and the feminine pullback, surrender, receiving healing. So it's actually both. And sometimes it is, this is the woman that I choose to be, this is the action I'm taking today, this is what I'm embodying, and that creates that sense of wholeness without needing to do the healing, the fixing. And sometimes, if there is an emotional trigger, if there is, most of us have had at least some little T traumas or conditioned responses through our lives, then yeah, it is about taking responsibility for healing them. So it's not really one or the other, it is both. But this time of intense shadow work addiction created transformation in my life. And it's also given me a perspective of maybe where I wasn't in my power, in my boundaries. And of course, if we're not in our power and we can't set boundaries, then we need to do the inner work to be able to get to that place anyway. So it's all kind of interconnected. Hopefully this makes sense. But we go deeper into this and we have a deeper conversation on this in the latest episode of the Authentic You podcast. So you can check that out in the link in my bio.